to Nerdmageddon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Nerdmageddon here on KNWT LP Maryville, and with our good friends over at KNWT and their Facebook page. Thanks, you guys, for joining us. With me, I have Will Linder.
Hello.
Cody Nance.
I'm a good time.
And Eli Stanley.
He is a good time, I can vouch.
All right, and I am Corey Herzog, and we're going to jump right into everything. Cody, you want to talk about the PS5?
I do want to talk about the PS5 because usually I wait quite a while to buy the new consoles and stuff because I want a library of games on there, and I don't want to give up the games that I'm already playing. So luckily, the PS5 is going to have backwards compatibility with PS4,
Whoop, whoop.
which I'm super happy about because my PS4 library is too big at the moment. And it's also going to have adaptive triggers, which means basically you press down on it and it will actually resist if something is making it resist.
All right, that's really cool.
That's pretty much all we have right now. It comes out next Christmas at 2020, and we're estimating about $500.
For one system.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No. That's normal.
Well, I guess that the rumor is that this is like the last generation, which is like...
There's no way.
No, probably not. But I believe that Xbox is going to release something. I've heard rumors about like the Scarlet or something like that, Xbox 2. Just, I don't know, weird stuff that I see on the internet. And I mean, it looks cool. It's like VR compatible, and it's definitely going to rival it during the holiday season of 2020, especially with like the new PlayStation. We're basically going to have like a console war part 2 where PS5 probably will come on top.
Well, we have a console war every year, basically.
Oh, yeah.
The console war never ends.
It's a never-ending battle. And you know what else never ends? Disney and their sequels. So Moana 2 just got announced from Disney. So that's going to be exciting. The inverse of The Little Mermaid, where it's a girl wanting to go out into the water, so basically The Little Mermaid 2. She is going to be getting a sequel with Dwayne Rock Johnson coming back. They're keeping the details on the DL for now. But all we know is that they are in the process of developing another film. Dwayne is coming back. I do not know how to pronounce the actress's first name, and I don't want to butcher it. But they are going to be reprising their roles. So that's going to be super awesome. And it's also set to get, Aladdin's also going to be getting a sequel, is the rumor, as of right now.
Oh, the King of Thieves.
Yes. Who knows, like maybe a crossover? I was going to say crossverse, and that's not right.
Does Disney like usually cross reference or something like that their movie? They like there's Easter eggs and stuff, but that doesn't really count. It's like having like an entire other movie in another movie. Has there been examples? I don't think I can.
Yeah, I don't think that Disney has like an Avengers thing yet.
Yeah.
I think the closest one we got was Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Either that or Lion King 1.5, where the whole like first movie was happening and then there was just stuff on the side happening.
Which
Yeah.
was awesome.
Oh,
That
yeah.
movie was great.
1.5 does not get the credit it deserves. But I think it'd be cool to have like crossverse. I guess.
Crossverse.
That's going to be my word of the night.
Jeez.
Bookmark it, y'all. Gonna put it in the dictionary.
I think that like once they start doing that, it's gonna have to be something that they dedicate themselves to. So like it's not just like one movie where like both Moana and say like Tangled exist in the same universe. Because have you ever heard of the Pixar theory?
Yes.
It doesn't hold up at all, but it's like a thing on Reddit where like all the Pixar movies from Disney or something like that
Are in the same universe.
interchange and stuff, and they all take place on the same molecular timeline or something like that. I don't know how well it holds up, but it's definitely a cool theory, I guess. But they're gonna have to like do full dedication to it, which means that Moana and Snow White and Cinderella and all the princesses probably should be like in one specific multiverse or something,
here's the thing.
universe.
Here's the thing. There are like certain things where we know it's in the same universe. So Frozen and Tangled, we know are in the same universe.
It's
so if they're
suggested though, right? Because that's like the thing. It's not necessarily confirmed that like who's it? Rapunzel goes to like Elsa's
Coronation.
like coronation or something. It's hinted, but like there's really no way to prove it, right?
Well, that's where the Easter eggs like come in. That's basically
Yeah,
what
that's
they
what I'm
are.
saying.
And so once they put like that in, like her and Eugene like walking up, like when they were gonna do the whole coronation thing, that basically was like, oh, they're cousins, and you know, like spouted off this whole
Theory.
thing. Like one of them was they are cousins, and so Elsa's parents were like, that shipwreck that they were on was like on the way to Rapunzel and Eugene's wedding.
Wasn't that shipwreck like Tarzan's parents or something too?
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's also the ship that Ariel found. And like, you know, there's so many like different things. Like, I think I've seen the video that you're talking about the Pixar movies like all being connected. Or at least I've seen one similar to it. But once you get into the Disney side of things, like they have this huge web of like fan theories and like actual theories that they're trying to put off, and it's so confusing. You just don't know which ones they're actually like hinting at.
Yeah, which is why in my opinion, I think Brave, Tangled, and Frozen are all same universe, and I would love to see a cross-verse of those three.
It definitely depends on what you would consider like a magic movie, where like literal madness and mystical things are happening, like in Moana and Aladdin, because those two could intertwine. But then like, what if you have a film that it doesn't necessarily hint that there's magic, but it's like implied that we're all in the same universe and stuff? Because then if like, you know, you have the Pixar theory, well, how do you explain like the timeline, like especially with like Cars doesn't make sense, like that movie Cars 2, Cars 3, which are like all pretty if, but
It never
best,
existed.
cool toys, but like I don't understand the hype. That's like an issue, because like how do you go from people to cars to monsters, as in Monsters Inc., and then like have like full societal implications to that, where like they have things like universities, as in Monster University, and like what is this, like what's going on? Because so what I'm saying is like the crossover thing probably could happen, but I don't know if it'd be very like consistent and cohesive.
It depends on the movies that they would use. And, you know, since we're on a Disney track, The Little Mermaid Live has been announced. So basically, it's just going to be a live production on ABC, where they're doing the thing that has failed almost every time with Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Christmas Story,
Sound of Music, Rent, where it's going to probably be terrible, but I'm actually looking forward to this one. So it's a live production of The Little Mermaid starring the voice of Moana as Ariel. So I'm actually really cool for that. Queen Latifah is going to be Ursula, and Shaggy is Sebastian in this version.
Oh boy.
Shaggy.
It wasn't me.
Oh,
Yeah.
isn't
Oh,
Sebastian?
Shaggy, not like Matthew Lillard, like
Yeah.
from Shaggy from Scooby Doo, like Shaggy, as in like.
It wasn't me.
Isn't Sebastian
It wasn't
supposed to
me.
be a little French dude or something?
Jamaican.
Oh, it's been a long time
Well,
since
then
I've
that
seen
works
Little
out
Mermaid.
pretty well. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but according to Pop Sugar, this will be a never-before-seen hybrid format that will take viewers on a magical adventure under the sea as live musical performances by an all-star cast and broadcasted as an original feature film. So who knows how this is going to turn?
Weird.
So not, you said film, so not like is it a live musical performance or like a feature like film that they're doing specifically for
I think it's a
TV?
live performance.
Okay.
So this has nothing to do with the Halle Bailey thing?
No, this is
Okay.
completely
Yeah.
different. Also, speaking of the Halle Bailey, I almost said Barry like everyone
It's
else.
okay.
They've also announced their Sebastian for that show, and it's Daveed Diggs, the actor who plays Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson and Hamilton, star alongside the musical producer of Lin-Manuel Miranda. So that's pretty dope. I'm really excited about this one.
She was talking
Pretty
to me
dope.
about that when we were walking up the stairs, and she's just like, blah, 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 and she's just like, you know, this guy. And I was like, uh-huh. And she goes, the person in Hamilton. I was like, that explains why I have no clue who you're talking about.
He's
I-
also in Wonder. Give him his credit.
I read that first article about Halle Bailey like 3 times before I realized it wasn't Halle Berry, and I was so confused.
Yeah, everyone was a little confused. But I mean, if it works, it works. Again, when it comes to that, I'm just mad it wasn't Zendaya, and I think I'm more excited for the voice of Moana to be playing Ariel than anyone else at this point, because Moana is the inverse of Little Mermaid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, opposites.
Wait, what?
Moana wants to go into the sea. Little Mermaid wants to go onto the land.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's the inverse. I don't know what
That's pretty neat.
this is. But I will die on that hill. But yeah, no, I'm actually, like I said, I'm looking forward to this one just because who knows, it might work out this time. They have a really good cast. The girl who plays Moana, she was in a TV show called Rise, and she did really well with that. So no auto-tune there.
Rise is a really good show. It's like Glee, but they picked out better things.
It's like Glee, but gritty, and their singing is for a reason.
The one with Josh Radnor from
Yes.
How I Met Your Mother? Yeah.
Yes. It's not on Hulu anymore, and I'm sad.
It's a good show.
Depression.
Yes. But to cheer me up, Wendy's released a D&D type game, a tabletop, if you will. So let me just tell you guys about this. This is all food-based, so you know me being obsessed with food. I'm in love.
We already have to do it for a game night.
Yes. So according to comicbook.com, the game draws heavy inspiration from Dungeons & Dragons, and players have 5 stats to play from: strength, intelligence, charms, arcana, and grace. And then they have 12 orders that they can pick from, each of which is based on a different Wendy's menu item. Players can choose to play as the beefy order from the Baconator, the roguelike order of the chicken nuggets, or the magical order of the Frosty.
Wait, chicken nuggets are rogues?
Yes.
I love it.
And I'm all for it.
Also, your combat is determined by the food you're eating while you play. So you use a d20, so a 20-sided dice, and you can either have buffs or debuffs. So if you're eating Wendy's food, that item grants you a boost in your stats, where if you're eating from a frozen burger joint, as they put it, or a pizza place, that causes your stats to drop.
Can you?
What if you're eating like a home cooked meal? What happens then?
Lose
Nothing.
points.
Lose points.
them
Go
all.
eat out.
Why would you ever play this game without eating Wendy's, though? Like,
I think it's just their way of getting nerds to go eat Wendy's.
Wow.
So this guy is just in his exec room or whatever, and he's pitching it to all the people who've never seen tabletop or D&D. They don't know what's going on, and they're just like, well, you've explained this to us for the last 6 hours, and we still don't understand, but do the kids like it? He's like, yes, sir. They're like, all right, we're going to do it.
Okay.
Hurry along.
Here's more. Here's some more information about just the legends of this game. Feast of Legends, the name of this tabletop, is set in the realm of Beef's Keep.
Why is this a Will's one-shot again? Like,
Helm's Deep.
A land splintered by how various kingdoms treat their subjects. The red-headed queen of Freshtovia provides a beacon of hope against the realms of Creeping Vale, ruled by the creepy king with the paper crown.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's dirty.
The United Crown Nations,
shade.
ruled by the Ice Jester. Feast of Legends also comes with a 5-part campaign in which they battle the Ice Jester throughout Beef's Keep. I can't say that name with a straight face, guys. Which includes a fight through the Ice Jester's playhouse, a not-so-subtle tie to the McDonald's play area, and it even has a ball pit.
That's so fun. Yeah. I kind of dig that, honestly. The evil man with the crowned hat or whatever.
He's over here getting ideas for his next D&D session.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and apparently Critical Role is going to be doing a Feast of Legends episode.
Oh my god, I need to see it.
So, guys, I just need this.
I don't think I've ever heard like a restaurant doing this kind of thing. Like the only thing that I would probably relate this to is when McDonald's had like those weird games, like not necessarily like arcade games. You know, do you remember like old McDonald's
when McDonald's had GameCubes?
GameCubes in like another station or whatever, and like my mom was like, "Don't touch that, it has germs on it." And I was like, "Mom, it's Spyro or something like that," you know. But I remember like they did something with games, and now this is just like keeping up with the kids, I guess. Like this in their Twitter feed. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Oh,
like,
I
just
love
the
the
savageness of all that.
The Wendy's Twitter feed is the greatest.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
The Wendy's one's
Wendy's is great too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 for 4.
Dude.
Why 4?
It's like a deal to hate.
Yeah. It's.
Oh, I thought you were rating it for a second. I was like, what?
It's like a thing you can do.
But yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
My go-to order is always the Baconator because I am a bacon fiend. And still on the D&D track, Will, you wanted to give a little brief mention of the Rick and Morty D&D.
Right. This was something that Corbett brought up, and I think it's pretty cool. First of all, Rick and Morty is coming out with a new season with only 5 episodes, and I was like, that's really sad because I'm a fan of Rick and Morty to the extreme, and it seemed a little short, but I kind of understand Dan Harmon's summarization of like why it was 5 episodes. It takes a long time just to make each one and stuff like that. But apparently it's not just 5 episodes, and they might be doing like more for the season. So I guess we'll see. That comes out November 10th on Adult Swim, which will be really cool. I'll be tuning in. And he just said like I think the other day we were talking about how The Simpsons will take, a couple months to like make their episode. Family Guy takes a year. And then like there's the people at like South Park who only take like a week or something like that to like make their episode and stuff. They work like 100 hours each week, and it's crazy. But yeah, I think it's definitely hard to do, especially when you want to keep something as iconic as Pickle Rick around and stuff like that. So otherwise, there's this like weird D&D campaign that they've made, and it's pretty cool. I'm not much of a D&D person myself, but this fits into the demographic of who watches the show, and that's probably like the most important. You can probably get it, I think you can get it now. It's possible, and it's like through actual like D&D tabletop stuff, so it's pretty legit. Yeah, it's just like a role-playing thing. They did like a partnership, I believe, with Adult Swim, and it looks pretty cool. You can have up to like 5 players, 3 different levels and stuff. It looks pretty cool. And I think the release date is November 19th. There, yeah, I see that.
Okay. I don't know. I think it's just interesting that like all these companies are now like, hey, these nerds are really into our stuff.
Yeah.
Let's make D&D.
It's because we buy stuff,
Yeah.
Like
we are easily manipulated.
We grew
so easily.
Oh yeah.
We grew out of like our Star Wars toys when we were like 7 or 8, and now
we?
we're like, did we? Yeah, did we, Cody?
Yeah, did we kill it?
And now we just want to buy D&D stuff because we all grew up and now we're in college. And that's
Yeah.
like a very college thing to do, I suppose.
Yeah,
Like,
buy
start
the
D&D.
dice that make the click clack.
Oh yeah.
I'm just imagining him. He's just like, oh, did we grow out of Star Wars? He's like
Did
stuffing
we?
his figurines like back in his bag. Like, no, yeah, we did.
Sorry, I have to go. Bring back that old meme. And then bringing back some memes. Big Mouth season 3. Eli, take it away.
Oh my gosh. So, Big Mouth season 3 aired on October 4th. And then on October 5th, Bradley and I took up our yearly tradition of binging the entire season in one night. And then we get sad at the end because they usually leave on a cliffhanger, and this one did not disappoint. So let me tell you, so many laughs. Like when I come down off of the high of Big Mouth, I'm just like, oh, wow, I'm kind of disappointed in myself. Like, after a while, I'm just like, that was a really weird show. Why do I watch it? And then a new season is announced, and I get, like, really hyped for it. And then I was just like, wow, I feel really bad for getting hyped about that. Then it actually comes out, and we watch it, and we're just like, we regret nothing, like, all at once. And I'm still on that high. Like, it has been 5 days since I've watched all of it. and I'm still just like, that was hilarious. Mostly because it had my favorite line that I think I have ever heard in any media ever. And the second I heard it, I put it on Facebook with no context. And then people were messaging me like, what in the world does this mean? And I'm just like, shh, no details. Like, I just like said it and I keep repeating it.
Can you say it over air?
I cannot.
No, you cannot say this over air. Also, I saw that post and then immediately as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's from Big Mouth. Moving on.
Yeah.
It's so crude, you know? Like, it's just so dirty.
Oh, I
and
love
was
it.
Like, ugh.
Well, it's because they actually dig into a lot of issues. Granted, they don't get all of them, like, picture perfect correct, but they actually do have, like, I wouldn't call them teams. They have multiple, like, sex education teachers and, like, experts, like, actually teaching them and giving them reading materials. So they're, like, learning about all the different things that they are portraying. So, I mean, it's kind of helpful. Granted, I wouldn't show this to a teenager going through puberty to be like, hey, this will explain what's going on. But, like, it's got enough of, like, a cringe factor that I'm just like, oh, God, why am I watching this? But then enough humor for me to be like, that's why I'm watching this.
It's got that good cringe.
It does. So, I have to say, though, Bradley's favorite character is one of the cringiest of them all. It's Lola.
Oh, Lola.
And she is just... Lola is just a treat. Let me tell you. She's the one that says stuff that constantly makes me go, oh, God. Like, she's the one that says things that makes me, like, regret my life in that moment. But my favorite character is Judd. And Judd is, I think, the funniest one. And he rarely says any lines, but he just kind of, like, shows up, drops a bombshell, and then leaves. Which is exactly what was happening all season. They started out with, like, just a package from Jay's mom that they just, like, opened up, and here's this random statement, and you're like, you should unwrap that. And they're like, nope, we're moving on. And so then it's just, like, Jay's mom again, back with another package, here's this, and you're like, and they're just, bye, moving on. And so it's just, like, they were dropping those kinds of, like, bombshells all season, and it was the funniest. So we're just like, we have so many more questions and I don't think you're going to answer them. Like, so it was a little, we had so many questions by the end. And then there was like a superhero thing, like almost like Avengers Civil War, kind of like that kind of shout out towards the end. And we were all for it because it had one of our favorite inside jokes that we just laugh every time. And it heavily referenced that. But then Bradley messaged me like a day or two later and was like, wait, if this was all in his head, then how in the world did this part happen? And I was like, huh. So, like, now we're sitting here, like, actually trying to dig into what in the world happened there. And so now we're just going to have to wait until season 4 to figure it out, which there is no release date for it yet. However, there was a release, no, not a release date. There was a,
announcement.
Yeah, an announcement put out about a new, like, side series that they're putting out called Human Resources. And during the first season, and I think a little bit of the second season too, you got a look into, like, Maury's and Connie's, like, office life.
I think that was more of season 2 than it was season 1.
Yeah, they poked at it at the end of season 1, and then it was more in season 2. And they're just basically, from what I can understand, going to be taking it like essentially The Office, but Big Mouth. And so I'm very excited, but there's no like release date or any kind of information on that yet.
I'm only about halfway through season 3, but my favorite running gag throughout the whole show is Jay's dog that barks.
Oh, yeah.
He just says,
God, yeah.
bark, bark, bark. I'm proud of you, Jay.
Like,
yes.
Yeah, and then he just like, I don't know, he just gets like more sad as it like goes on, and he's just like, he just does the barking, and then he's just like, I am afraid. Like, and just goes into this monotone like stuff, and it's really funny.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned superheroes, and we have a fun segment where we're going to be debating some of the worst superheroes we could come up with. But thank you guys for tuning in. And as always,
You nerd it here first.